The following program is being brought to you on the Voice America Women's Channel. For more information about our network and to check out additional show hosts and topics of interest, please visit voiceamericawomen.com. The Voice America Talk Radio Network is the worldwide leader in live Internet talk radio. Visit voiceamerica.com. The views and ideas expressed on the following program are strictly those of the host or guests and do not necessarily reflect the views and ideas held by the Voice America Talk Radio Network, its staff, and management.
Welcome to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with Rebecca Hall Gruyter. In our program each week, we provide the tools, ideas, and encouragement to help you move ahead on your journey, becoming a more powerful and impactful woman in your own life. Now here's your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter.
Welcome, everybody. I hope that you're having an amazing day. Excited to be connecting with you heart to heart as we share our final interview series around the Shine book that's coming out. So we're really excited to have some of our amazing authors here today as we talk about blooming and shining. How do we really do that in our lives, even when the ground can be a little rocky sometimes? Sometimes we're in that mud. How do we still make a commitment and choose to bloom, grow, and shine? And that's what we're going to be talking about today. The book that is coming out is on September 15th. So I just want you all to mark that on your calendar, circle that. Our book will be coming out on September 15th on Amazon. That was a test, September 15th on Amazon. And it is called Bloom Where You Are Planted and Shine. So please mark that on your calendar. You're going to be hearing from the heart, the wisdom, and the expertise of some of our co-authors today, because we want to give you a sneak peek and we want to let you know a little bit of the living, breathing experience that pulling this book together has been for them and what they're hoping to bring to the world and touch the world with by being part of this book. So I hope that you're excited. I'm very excited. I feel like we've been birthing this. We're about to birth this book. We've been working on it for a year. It has been such an honor and a privilege as the compiler, pulling this book together, finding the people that the message has resonated with, that they really are called to be part of this book. It has brought together 26 authors, 3 of them we're going to be talking with today, that had a pull on their heart to be part of this book. And for our listeners, I want you to know this book was inspired by how we close each show, which is, may you always choose to bloom where you're planted and shine. So this book has such a special meaning to me, and I hope to each of you, because this is the journey we have been on during the show, and how we go forth back out into the world every week is with that phrase. And so this book is titled Bloom Where You're Planted and Shine. And as we've been preparing for the launch and the release of the book this Friday, it's been a really interesting time in our country and in the world. There are some wonderful things that we can celebrate and are amazing, and then there's some really turbulent things or challenging things that, and even really hard and hurtful things that have happened during this week in our history and are happening now. And there are some really wonderful things. And as I look at that, it made me even more committed and excited to bring this book to all of you. I feel like the timing is perfect, that the messages in here are for such a time as this, that it really is in the mix of those highs and the lows in life. Sometimes we're in that challenging place. Sometimes we're in that place of celebration. Every step along the journey, it's important to have tools, to have ways to get support along the way. One of the things my grandmother taught me many years ago was, in the highs in life and the lows in life, to remember to pause, to breathe in, to process on a cellular level. I wasn't very good at listening to her on those highs in life. I was just celebrating something, sharing something, and then I'd move on to the next thing. When it was the lows in life, when I'd had a loss or a hit of some sort, I was a little bit better at listening and slowing down. And as I've gone along, I've learned she was giving me such wisdom. When we can remember to pause and choose how we want to be, who we want to be with our next breath, with our next step, that's how we can live a life on purpose and with great purpose. And I hope that today's call will inspire you in that way. The experts that we have on today's show and this book and the tools that we're going to give you some insights on today and make available in our special launch on Friday will also walk beside you. But here's the other piece of wisdom she gave me. And she would end every single phone call like this. She'd go, Rebecca, my health is very fragile. And it was. She goes, I could go at any time, but I'm at peace. I have been loved and I have loved deeply, but I want you to make me a promise. And I felt like, a little bit of guilt, but okay, Grandma, yes, I'll make a promise. She goes, I want you to promise me you will take care of my granddaughter. And that was me. I wasn't very good at taking care of myself. I was really good at running around and taking care of others. And I have found when I have learned to turn that around and to fill my well, I'm able to keep serving others. I'm able to keep reaching out. And there have been so many times in my careers and path in life that I've been able to pass her wisdom on to others. And I want to pass it on to you that it's really important that we, one, remember to pause and process things on a cellular level and the highs in life, the lows in life. And two, we remember to treat ourselves like our own best friends. Be extra kind, be extra supportive, allow support, let ourselves be nourished so we can bloom and shine. And as we go through our time together, I want you to be thinking about that and see what is placed on your heart. We're going to take a couple minutes here and just pause and listen for a moment. So go ahead and take a breath. Breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. Those of you who are driving, be safe, eyes open, alert. Those of you who are able to, I invite you to sit back in a chair. Breathe deeply, kind of in through your mouth. Expand your belly, in through your nose, out through your mouth. Put one hand on your heart, one hand on your head, close your eyes. You're safe, fully present. This kind of breathing will lower your cortisol levels, bring you very present, so you can receive what is here for you today. In this space, I want you to think about what I talked about earlier about remembering to pause, to process things on a cellular level, about blooming and shining and remembering to take extra good care of yourself like you would your very best friend. And I feel like those are critical ingredients to being able to bloom and shine no matter what. So what is it in this quiet space that you need today that will empower you, encourage you, support you, help you to bloom and shine? Just take a moment, keep breathing, listening in. And just see what the answer is. And then I'm going to add a second question. So not only what is it that you need, but what is it that you are willing to receive? Those can sometimes be different answers. So I want you to find what it is that you need and are willing to receive today, real time. Beautiful. capture that information, I invite you to come back into the room. Eyes open, fully present, keep breathing. It's a wonderful practice to do that deep breathing, bring in oxygen, and it can help us process things on a cellular level. What I invite you to do is write down whatever it is that came to your heart. What is it that you need and are willing to receive? This will help you see it, not just hear it or experience it in your mind, but actually have it down on paper, and you can keep it top of mind today. We can get distracted. We can forget what it is that we need and not lean into it. So today, I want you leaning in with anticipation and great expectation, not attached to the how, but be willing to receive whatever it is that you need and are willing to receive. Have your eyes open, ears open as we go through our time together today and back out into the world. I celebrate that you're here, very honored that you're on this journey with us, and I can't wait to see what it is that you need and are willing to receive to see that come powerfully into your life. Well, I'd love to go around our virtual room so you can hear a quick comment or share from our guest experts that are joining us today so you can get to know them on a heart level. So, Jon Hall, I'd love for you to share just a quick share of something that was placed on your heart when we paused and listened.
Well, I think as a parent, sometimes we tend to not receive, but I think this is a time where it's on my heart just to hear what other people have to say and listen to what the other folks on the room really receive, what they have to share, and be on the receiving end of all that.
Beautiful. I love that. Let's breathe that in. Willing to receive. Beautiful. And then Jon Missall, what was laid on your heart?
Well, something I think today I'm not having a lot of, but it's something I preach a lot, and that's patience and tolerance. So it just needs to come back to me today so I can practice what I preach and what I teach.
Beautiful. I love that. We breathe that in. Patience and tolerance. And sometimes the way we get to receive that is by experiencing things that stretch those muscles. So thank you, Jon. We breathe that in. And then Jeanne, we'd love to have you share.
What came to me was being clear on your intention and persevere.
I love that. Clear on your intention and persevere. So let's breathe all of that in. Wonderful. And listeners, I want you to think about what is on your heart. We're getting ready to go into our first commercial break. This is a wonderful opportunity for you to stay present, to pause, to breathe in what is being spoken into your heart and spirit. I encourage you to stay present because we have a tendency to try to run off and get some things done, and we totally get disconnected and we miss what's right here. So I'm going to invite you to stay present, be willing to receive and process real time throughout the show, and know that these commercial breaks are secretly 1 to 2 minute moments just for you. We look forward to talking to you in just a moment.
Voice America Women. Your passion starts here. Tune in to the Just Jan TV show at justjantvshow.com. Visionary women's leader Jan Jorgensen is inspiring, practical, and visionary. Jan brings us everyday transformational emerging leaders, courageously changing the world by speaking and living their truth. Sit around the table with us for profound feminine wisdom, insights, and connection. Be sure to join us at justjantvshow.com. New episodes are every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Pacific Time at justjantvshow.com.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. That's EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
For women, the pressure to achieve is stronger, the work hours longer, and the struggle for respect and authority more complex than ever. You want guidance on how to succeed, and you are not alone. You're invited to take your coffee break with Game Changers on Tuesdays at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern for our special series, Game Changing Women. Powerful women leaders will help you make sense of it all, analyze how you can change the game, and share their playbooks. Game Changing Women, presented by SAP on the Business Channel.
Become our friend on Facebook. Post your thoughts about our shows and network on our timeline. Visit Facebook.com/Voice America.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-613-1612. That's 1-866-613-1612. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you enjoyed those 2 minutes. You'll have another opportunity, I promise, to really process things on a cellular level. Well, as you're coming back, I wanted to formally introduce our guests. You got to hear a little bit of their heart in our earlier segment, but I wanted you to know more formally who each of these experts are and have them share why this book, why this project, why were they drawn to being part of what we are building together. One of our 26 authors, why were they drawn to this project? I always love knowing the why behind things. So our first expert is Jeanne Alford. She is a communications expert. She has directed national and international public relations and communication campaigns and programs for brands such as Dolby, Philips Electronics, and Visa, helping them share their brand and their brand story, because every brand has a story. Today, she is absolutely passionate about helping individuals and small businesses share their brand stories powerfully. Please warmly welcome the amazing Jeanne Alford to the show. Welcome.
Thanks, Rebecca. I'm glad to be here.
So glad to have you here. Welcome. And I'd love for you to share why this book, why this project.
Well, I was actually listening to you at one of your events and felt drawn to the project because it was clear to me that while I'm great at telling great brand stories, we all have good stories to tell. And sometimes we have to dig them out. And when you gave the name of your book, I was like, that's it. I need to be working here. Because each of us has a good message to share. We just sometimes have to dig into it. And I just read this great quote about every seed has to pop up from the dirt to bloom. And
I love that. I love that.
Like, yes, that's what I felt like I needed to start doing. So I got involved, and it's been a great journey.
Oh, I'm so glad, and thank you for sharing that quote. I have found this Boomer Planted and Shine has been so meaningful to me, and every step along the way. I've recently started farming. For me, it's farming. For others, it would be gardening. But, the journey of the seed and the plant and the experience and how much that can tie into our lives, it has become even richer and even more meaningful. So thank you. Thank you for being part of our book and sharing as powerfully as you do in so many ways, helping so many reach the world. So I appreciate you being here today. Thank you.
Thank you.
And then our next amazing expert I'd love to share with you is Jon Missall, and he's the director of TV programming for VoiceAmerica with over 45 years experience in the business, music, and entertainment fields. And that's just to name a few. He has such a rich and diverse experience that if you ever get a chance to talk to him, I know you're going to just be enthralled with all that he has done and learned along the way and his passion to share it. He has an absolute passion and vision to help others in TV and radio really step forward, powerfully become the influencer they're meant to be and touch the world. Please lean in and warmly welcome the amazing Jon Missall to the show. Welcome.
Thank you very much. That's very humbling. With those kind words, and I sincerely appreciate them. To answer your question, I obviously, maybe not to others, but to some that are listening, that you and I worked together on various projects in the past, and I'm just drawn to your constant energy. Just talking to you sometimes brings us, just makes me smile regardless of my mood. And when we talked, or when you talked to me about this project, it was like, I have to be part of this. I have to be able to put some of the key things that I think are in life, regardless of what you do, whether it's media or not, and help them get out there and hopefully they make at least one person succeed or reach out for what they want to do.
Beautiful. Well, Jon, I enjoy all that we have been able to create and will be creating together, and I am uplifted by you as well, and appreciate you being on the show today and being in our book and sharing so deeply from your heart and wisdom. Thank you for being here today.
Thanks for having me. Really, I couldn't be more honored.
Very, very happy to have you. And then you may have noticed that there are two Jons on this show today. So this is my second Jon. And just to give you a little backstory, I think I'm going to leave that as a teaser. I will tell you all in a moment that backstory. But let me share a little bit about Jon Hall, who's also known as my dad, which I'm very excited to have him here. And Dad he actually grew up on a farm in Paris, Kentucky, and enlisted in the Navy. He retired as a lieutenant commander, has a bachelor's in electrical engineering, a master's in business and in science, is a successful business owner and entrepreneur, and I'm going to underline, and my dad too, so I'm very proud and excited to have him joining us. And he is absolutely passionate about helping people become independent, improve their lives, and thrive and shine in their life. Please warmly welcome the amazing Jon Hall, my dad, to the show.
Hi, Rebecca. Thanks for having me on the show. It's kind of inspiring to be here, and I think probably of all those roles I have, I think being the dad's probably the most important. So I'm glad to be here.
Well, I'm very, very glad to have you. And a little backstory, as Jon and I have been on, so Jon Missall and I have been on a journey for a long time. He would always ask if he was my favorite Jon, and I had to let him know he was my favorite Jon at Voice America, because my dad, Jon, is my favorite Jon. So I get a point there, right, Dad?
That's a good point. Good one.
But one thing I've really appreciated about you, Dad, is you have been really passionate about helping me and others tap into our courage, to help us, even if something is hard, to keep doing it. Like, hard is not a reason to not do it. And I really appreciate that about you and that wisdom that you've passed on. And I'd love for you to share why you leaned into this book, this project at this time.
Well, after being at one of your events and talking a little bit about having confidence. It was well received, and people thought, well, maybe you should share this. And I find that we seem to run a lot of people who are otherwise very talented, very brilliant, very bright people who somehow don't have the confidence on the outside to show that. And so I felt maybe there are some techniques and things I could share that might help them add that to the repertoire to be able to be confident about the things that they rightly should be, just may not be aware of it. So that's the reason.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. And I appreciate that you share some of your personal journey, because confidence was not always the thing that you started with as you went on your journey. And I appreciate that. And it was fun as your daughter to get to know you in that way too, and go on that bit of a journey with you. So I really have been honored and appreciate that. And I want to thank you for being in the book and being my dad and being part of this project.
Great.
And I wanted to ask a second question, because we've talked a little bit about why all of our authors are in this book. And I wanted to just kind of go around the room and have them say what the title of their chapter is. This will give you a little bit of a feel and a flavor. And then if you could share a little piece from your chapter, either a quote or something they can look forward to, and you could even do a cliffhanger should you be so inclined, a little bit of a teaser. But I want to give them a feeling, if we pull back the cover, of what they can look forward to in your amazing chapter. And so, Jeanne, I would love to start with you.
Well, great. The title of my chapter is The Strength of Your Story. Mm-hmm. And what I want to get across is that we all have a story, and reclaiming that story is important to helping us really be who we are in the world. And pondering the question of who I am has often been an obstacle, but I try to break it down so it's a little bit easier for each of us to find the answer to that question of who am I?
Beautiful.
Because we're all unique.
We are, and I can feel your passion and conviction as you say that. So I felt it was underlined. We are all unique, and we all have a story. And one of the things I love about this book is not only do our authors share a bit of their journey, they actually give you some practical and profound steps that you can apply in your life to help you with what they shared, so that not only are you getting to connect and be inspired by their journey and the wisdom in it, but you also have some practical things you can take with you and apply those that will serve you in your life. And so you have done that beautifully, and helping them start to understand how unique they are and tap into their story. So thank you. Thank you for sharing.
I'm really profoundly grateful that you gave me this platform.
Well, we are honored to have you. Absolutely. Absolutely. And Dad, how about you? What is the title of your chapter and something they can look forward to in it?
Well, the title of mine is The Art of Being Confident and Have the Confidence to Shine. Mm-hmm. So I talk a little bit about, feeling confident. Sometimes we think we have to feel confident before we can be or act confident. And sometimes we think, well, I have to act confident so I feel better. And it's a cycle of feeling confident and then acting confident and then being confident and feeling confident. And a lot of times we work on the concept of feeling confident so we can act confident. But I'm looking at ways maybe we can break that cycle and find strategies to become confident by maybe acting confident, which will then bring the feeling. And maybe we can come in that way and start breaking that cycle so we can bring confidence to our lives. So that was an interesting thing to work on, was to try to find a way to break that cycle and give practical ways to do it. Oh, and by the way, the teaser, one of the things in my chapter is a little story about working with my daughter at one time, so I just thought I'd bring that up.
Giving away all the secrets.
Just saying.
Thank you, Dad. But I love this. He did run it by me, so I'm aware of the story. But yeah, it was fun to see through Dad's eyes. But I love this concept of taking the action first and letting the feeling follow, because I think sometimes we wait for the feeling before we take the action. And I agree. I find frequently it's the action first, and even the action a few times before the feeling follows of confidence or not being afraid or being comfortable. A lot of times it follows the action. So I loved how you share that. And I know you have a powerful quote as well that you have in your chapter that you had shared at that event that just really, really impacted people. So I don't know if you're at a place you're able to pull that, but if you are, I would love to have you share it. And if not, we'll have it as a cliffhanger that if you want to know his powerful quote, you got to read the chapter. Beautiful. Thank you, Dad.
Okay, well, we can work on the quote later, sure.
Okay, that sounds good. We'll work on a commercial break for that. So thank you for being here and sharing a little bit about your chapter. And then, Jon, I would love for you to share the title of your chapter, which I love, and just a little bit of what they can look forward to in your section.
The title of my chapter is called Mirror, Mirror. Now, just as we'll do a couple little quick teasers here. I'm not really the kind of person that talks about my own successes or failures or bumps in the road. However, probably my greatest reward, and I said this before, is seeing others listening and applying some of the ideas that I put into this chapter, of which there are 5 of, and see how it fits their road to success and in watching them succeed. And just as your teaser, you have said this word, and this is one of the 5 things I elaborate on the most, but you've said it at least 7 times that I've counted during the show, and it's one of my very, very big things and favorite words in life, and that's passion. So make sure that you read the chapter.
I love that. So ... That's the cliffhanger. Thank you, Jon. I appreciate that. And I'm going to say it again. I think it's important that we are passionate about what we do and what we step into. And we find those practical and profound practices that can help us choose to live on purpose. Choose to bloom, even when that ground is rocky or that seed that's trying to grow, get our roots going deep and come out of that soil, even when we're in that mud phase. We can remember our why. We can remember where we want to go. We can choose to bloom and shine, even then, to take those actions and let the feelings follow. Not wait for the feeling to change, but lead it by taking the actions first. And then be willing to shine, be willing to share the gift. Tap into someone that can help you get your message out there. Because what has had the greatest impact in my life are when people have been willing to walk beside me, have been willing to pour truth in me, to support me, to cheer me on. We all have the opportunity to impact another, and it's a choice. Because whether you realize it or not, you're impacting everyone around you just by being who you are. And I want to invite you to be purposeful in how you're impacting others. Pay attention to what you're echoing out, because it matters. And choose by pausing and breathing to shine. Choose to echo out those things that matter most to you. That's how we make a positive difference in our lives and in others. And as we go into our next commercial break, I want to give you an opportunity to take those 2 minutes, those 3 minutes to pause and breathe and receive what is here for you. Process on a cellular level. And when we come back, we have a few ideas and tips that we want to give you right now, real time, to help you as you go back out into the world. We'll look forward to talking to you in just a moment.
This is the Voice America Women's Channel, where your success is limitless.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Relationship issues? Anxious? Parenting challenges? No more. Learn to live your best life. Tune into Straight Talk with top therapist, relationship, and anxiety expert Sandra Reish. Learn to transform your challenges into effective solutions. Whether it's relationships, parenting, anxiety, or other traps, Sandra will show you how you can live the life of your dreams. Listen live every Thursday afternoon at 6 p.m. Eastern Time and 3 p.m. Pacific Time on the Voice America Health and Wellness Channel. Do you find yourself working tirelessly to keep your business going? Are you finding out that you don't have time for family, friends, any kind of personal life whatsoever? It's time to stop feeling trapped by your business. Tune in to Reclaim Your Freedom with host Shirley Dalton. You'll hear from guests that will help you work on your business instead of constantly in your business and get your life back while the business keeps running and humming. Reclaim Your Freedom airs live every Tuesday at 1 p.m. U.S. Pacific Time on Voice America Business.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. That's EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation. Follow us on Twitter at VoiceAmericaTRN. Get the lowdown on guests, new shows, and your favorites. That's VoiceAmericaTRN.
If you think you've seen online TV before, let us surprise you.
VoiceAmerica.tv is online now.
The leader in live internet talk radio has done it again. Multiple channels, a state-of-the-art viewing experience, live and on-demand programs streaming 24 hours a day. It's exactly what you want, when you want it.
VoiceAmerica.tv.
From health and wellness to business, sports, and everything in between. Discover our new world. Visit VoiceAmerica.tv now and experience the future of online television.
VoiceAmerica.tv.
Follow us on Twitter at VoiceAmericaTRN. Get the lowdown on guests, new shows, and your favorites. That's VoiceAmericaTRN.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-613-1612. That's 1-866-613-1612. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you enjoyed those 2 minutes, that you got a moment to breathe, process things on a cellular level. And here's what I want to invite you to do. I want to go back to the beginning of the show when we talked about remembering not only to pause and process things on a cellular level, that's really critical to us blooming and shining in our life. But the second part, that it's really important that you take care of yourself, that you are extra kind to yourself, that you treat yourself like your own best friend. And as we talk with our experts today, they're going to share a piece of advice, a tip, something that is on their heart that they feel can support and help you as you go forth back out into the world on your journey. And with that, I want you to listen in and see, what is it that can help you? What is it that will help you take care of yourself in a really powerful way? And I'm going to dial this up. So my guests don't know this. I'm going to dial it up. Not only would I love to have you all share a tip or piece of advice or a reminder, but I also want us to embrace celebrating. We forget to celebrate, and we have things every single day that we can celebrate and enjoy and echo out to the world. And I think that's part of shining too. So I would love to have you each share a piece of advice, something we can take with us, and then something you want to celebrate with us or that we can celebrate today. With that, I'm going to start with Jon. So Jon Missall.
Was that John with an H or John without an H?
John without an H. Jon Missall.
Well, if you don't mind, I'm going to do this backwards a little bit for you. And because this has actually been on my mind, obviously, and everybody in America and people around the globe, and that's Houston and Florida.
Yes.
And what they've gone through. And I think not only do we need to celebrate everyone that made it through successfully, but also celebrate what you have. I mean, right now, if you have a cardboard box and you live in a sunshine state, you have more than most of those people that were affected. So have that patience. Be glad that you woke up and you have what you have in the morning. And, as a side note, if you can help, every dollar helps. So off of that soapbox, tip that I can help, probably that helps the most, and I think your dad said it really well, and it's hard to elaborate. And I don't talk a lot about confidence in my chapter, but I do talk about patience and having the ability to overcome stumbling blocks and go forward. And realize, I don't remember the exact quote, and I believe it was Einstein that said it. He didn't fail 99 times, okay? He just improved on different things, and he learned something each time until he finally got what he wanted. So don't be discouraged. Keep your passion. If your passion is honest, keep it, and keep pointed in the direction that you want to go.
I love that. And just an important reminder that, when things perhaps don't go according to plan, or we fall down and skin our knee a little bit, we can stand up and keep going forward and just keep moving inch by inch in that direction that we're called to go. And that reminder to be really grateful. There is so much that each of us can be grateful for, and so much that we are able to then share with others. And one of the things some of our authors have been inspired to do in light of 9/11 and in light of Houston and Florida and the things that are going on is many of them are actually going to be gifting some of the copies to others. And they're hoping to have others join in with them that they want to share this book with, someone that it can really help that perhaps doesn't have that dollar during that campaign to lean into it. And they want to start this kind of echoing out of sharing the book. And we're going to be doing that and hoping to inspire others to do that as well, because every time we invest in another, every time we pour into them, it has exponential differences. I mean, it makes a huge difference when we're willing to pause and we're willing to share and we're willing to lean in. So, Jon, thank you for sharing. I really appreciate it. And Jeanne, I'd love to have you share.
Well, my story, my chapter is about the strength of your story, and one of the skills that I talk about is redefining your story or reauthoring. An important skill for any author or any writer is to edit, to pick out the things that are most important to tell the story. Not all the detail is important. And sometimes we need to take a look at the stories that make up the folklore of who we are and decide, was that my story or did somebody give me that story? Sometimes we grow up with family lore about where you fit in the family, or I tell a story of my son being told he was stupid when he was in school, and he told me the teacher told him, but I went with him to talk to the teacher, and we found out that it was one of the kids that said it because he was stumbling over reading, and I had to work with him on that and redefine that wasn't him being stupid, that was him needing help. And I want to celebrate today that my son has just gotten a raise and a promotion at work. So as an adult, he's doing really good, and I'm so pleased. But redefining that story or reauthoring that story is a very important step in finding that strength of who you are.
I love that, and that we can do that throughout our life. Like, it's not written once and then this is who we are forevermore. Like, we can rewrite the story. We can start now and start a new chapter and decide who we're becoming and where we are going and who we are now, and perhaps sometimes look back with a little different perspective on who we've been. And I love that, not letting others define who we are, but really discovering who we are and standing for that and bringing that forward. And congratulations to your son and to you. Beautiful.
Thanks.
Love it.
And I love that you use the word perspective, because that's very important in work that I do.
Exactly. Perspective. Because we all have a different way of looking at things, and we can choose how we're going to look at things. So love it. And then, Dad, I'd love to have you share.
Okay. I think one of the things in my book, I had a couple of quotes here that I think were significant to me, and one of them is the one that I wrote. This is actually from Christopher Robin to Winnie the Pooh, written by A.A. Milne. It said, "Promise me," when they were ready to separate Christopher Robin and Winnie the Pooh, it said, "Promise me, you will always remember that you're braver than you believe, and stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think." So when we really break that down, however brave that we think we are, we're braver than that still. So our shortcomings sometimes aren't challenged, or when we can challenge those, we find that we are braver than what we thought. I think about the returning POWs and all the things that they had to endure when they were prisoners of war. Nobody thinks they can endure that. But they were stronger than what they thought. They were much more capable. And we're smarter than we think we are. So however we feel we are on that scale, we actually are better than that. And people around us actually generally believe that. So if we could kind of look from different eyes in that perspective, we might be able to pull ourselves up a little bit higher, a little bit straighter, and a little more confident in when we go about life, because we're better than what we think we are. To me, that was a kind of a real important quote for what I believe.
Yes, and I just want to give all of us a moment to process and breathe that in, because those are really important reminders as we go back out into the world, that we are braver and stronger and smarter and more capable than we know, and to really stand in that and let our roots go deep. Powerful. And then, did you have something you wanted to celebrate or something else on your heart? I didn't want to cut you off. I just wanted to give us a moment to pause and take that in, because that was rich.
Oh, sure. Well, I'm just grateful that I have an opportunity to share some of these things that have been of value to me, and I hope can be of value to others. I just have that hope, and that I have a daughter that I can use as a forum to help share that. So I'm thankful for that.
Well, thank you, Dad. And it's so special to be able to share this space with you and this platform with you. I've tears in my eyes of joy that just really special to me. And I just appreciate all that you've poured into me and that you've been a part of all that we are getting to do. And thank you. And Jon, I appreciate how many times you've held my hand on this journey in media. So thank you for that, and supporting and lifting us up, because it is just not a solo journey. And thank you for that.
Been my pleasure.
And then, Jeanne, I appreciate your commitment and your passion and your willingness to help people see their story, to see their greatness, and to be able to translate that to the world so they can have the impact that they are meant to have. So thank you for the work that you do.
And thank you.
And listeners, I want to thank you for being here today, for being part of this. We've created this together with you, and I hope that this series, as we've been focusing on blooming and shining, has touched your life. I hope that you have found something in today's show that you can take forth with you and share with another. We would love to have you lean into our best-selling campaign and share the word about our book coming out on Friday, Bloom Where You're Planted and Shine. But most importantly, I want you to remember you are beautifully and wonderfully made, on purpose and for a purpose for such a time as this. It is not an accident that you are here today, that you are tuning in, that you are connecting. There is something here for you to receive and something for you to share. And I want to invite you that wherever you go, whatever you do, may you always, always choose and be willing to bloom where you are planted and shine. Have an amazing week, and we'll look forward to talking to you next time. Bye, everyone.
Thank you for joining us this week for Empowering Women, Transforming Lives. Please tune in again for another edition with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter, next Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 11 a.m. Pacific on the Voice America Women's Channel. And join us for a replay of the show every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 p.m. Pacific on the Voice America Empowerment Channel. Have a beautiful week, and may you always bloom where you're planted and shine.
Thanks again for listening to the preceding program, brought to you on the Voice America Women's Channel. For more information about our network and to check out additional show hosts and topics of interest, please visit voiceamericawomen.com. The Voice America Talk Radio Network is the worldwide leader in live Internet talk radio. Visit voiceamerica.com. The views and ideas expressed on the preceding program are strictly those of the host or guests and do not necessarily reflect the views and ideas held by the Voice America Talk Radio Network, its staff, and management.